Undefeated #1 Florida State taking on undefeated North Carolina State in Carter Finley Stadium, a battle of unbeatens. Welcome to Carter Finley Stadium. I'm Lane Hurt along with Jonathan Shalacy. Jonathan, this has been a house of horrors for Florida State in recent years. How do they turn that around today?
I think that this team is very focused. They remember what happened 2 years ago. You talk to them, coach is very happy with the way practice went after Thursday. So I think that they're really focused on this one. They know what they need to do in order to stay #1 in the nation. They're ready for this one.
Offensively, the Seminoles get their leader back. Jameis Winston will start at quarterback today, and with that, you get his experience, the big plays that he brings to the field. What do you expect to see from the Florida State offense?
I think they're going to be very explosive. I think the running backs want to show what they can do after the Clemson game. You look at Jameis Winston, he's ready to get back on the field after missing the game against Clemson. There's no one more that wants to play than him, and I see them being very explosive today.
For me, I look at Rashad Green making some big plays again, but as I've been saying all year long, which young receiver is going to make a play? Is it going to be Ermin Lane, Travis Rudolph? Can one of those guys step up and take some of the heat off of Rashad Green? And then defensively, the good news, those big stops last week really propelled this defense. They were good when they had to be. The bad news, they did give up some big plays to Clemson. What do you expect to see from the Seminole D today?
Well, I look for the defensive line here. I want to see Shanks step up because Mario Edwards is out. I want to see Eddie Goldman have another big game, Chris Casher again. I look for that D-line to really step up today.
Yeah, for me, Jonathan, a lot of those young guys made such big plays on the defensive line, and you're right. Eddie Goldman may be the next superstar defensive tackle here. Let's see if he can put back-to-back games together. Now, let's go look at a couple of the keys. What are a couple of the keys to you to get a win today?
Well, #1, the running backs need to get their run game because this is a pretty good pass defense, 27th in the nation. I also agree with you. The young receivers need to step up. Coach Fisher was very happy with them in practice. Rudolph and Ermin Lane, he says, really getting the fundamentals down and getting the routes right. So I look for those guys to have a big game.
For me, offensively, like I said, getting some other guys involved. Obviously, you know what you're going to get from Rashad and Nick O'Leary and those guys. Like I said before, who else steps up and becomes a go-to guy for Jameis Winston? And then defensively, stop the running game. Florida State knows what Jacoby Brissett has. They faced him before when he was at Florida. I don't think they're overly impressed with him, but that running game can be very tenacious. It opens up play action. If they can slow that down, they can get the big stops.
I'd agree. They have a three-headed monster. NC State does, the 3 running backs that they use. But again, those guys up front, as long as they do their job, this should be a pretty good game for Florida State.
Well, we'll be getting kicked off at 3:35. That game on ABC or ESPN2 if you're other parts of the country. As Florida State is looking to remain unbeaten in ACC play. They want to move one step closer to that college football playoff. Along with Jonathan Shalacy, I'm Lane Hurt for Seminoles.com.